Shalom and welcome to today's edition of Rabbi Ron in the House. Here we are studying the book of Romans. This week we're up to Romans chapter 6. I read a little bit of chapter 6 and it gives us some neat news. It tells us here that we were slaves to sin. In the past we were a slave to sin. We look at this in detail during the Passover celebration. But then it goes on and tells us that we were set free from sin. This is wonderful. We now have freedom. And so what came to my mind was, let me look up the word freedom on the internet in a dictionary there and see some of what it describes for the word freedom. And so here it talks about the state of being free or at liberty rather than in confinement or under physical restraint. You're not confined, you're not under restraint. Exemption from external control, interference, or regulation. No one outside of you can control or regulate what you do or say with your life. The power to determine action without restraint. You can decide what action to take and you don't have to be restrained by anybody or anything. It also says refer to the absence of undue restrictions and an opportunity to exercise your own rights and powers. You're free. You have power and rights in your own life to do what you want to do. You are free. But we continue reading in Romans 6, and then it says, but now we've been enslaved to righteousness. We've become a slave to righteousness, to right living, to doing what's right before God. And later on in the chapter it says, you've now become enslaved to God. And so therefore freedom, we are free. He who the Son sets free is free indeed. But the Bible teaches a different freedom than the world. The world says you are now in control. You have all freedom, all power and rights to do and to say what you want. No one external, nothing external can tell you what to do. But according to the Bible, we are free, but we're not free to decide for ourselves. We now become a slave to God. He's redeemed us, Yeshua. And what does it mean to redeem? To buy back. That means He purchased us. We're now a slave to God, to Yeshua. And therefore we don't have rights and privileges to do anything we want. We're now God's slave. And therefore, instead of sin and the devil, God now directs us on what to do and what to say. What do you think about freedom? Please take a moment, share your thoughts in the comment section and share with us what being free, being set free from sin, and being free to serve God, what does that mean to you? Thanks so much for joining us. This has been Rabbi Ron in the House.